Hello, Peak Flicks families, and welcome back to 5th grade math with Mrs. Rossi. So, what are we going to do today? Well, our learning goal is to divide whole numbers and fractions. Okay? Think about it. What do you do in your everyday life where you divide or share parts? Do you share a cookie with your brother or sister? Do you share pizza with your family? Do you share a candy bar with friends or divide up a piece of gum between, your cousins or something? I'm sure you do this. All right, on with today's work, and thanks for being here with us. Well, what time is it? It is time for fluency. Today we will be dividing by 36. What are the factors of 36? Think. It is an even number, so it's got to be definitely 2. Think of some more, and when you're ready, we'll start the fluency together. All right, boys and girls and mathematicians far and wide, today we'll be focusing on finding the missing divisor. Are you ready? Let's get started. 36 divided by what number is equal to 3? This is a tricky one, but if you said 12, you would be correct because 12 times 3 is in fact 36. Let's keep moving. 36 divided by what number is equal to 9? Did you come up with the answer? If you said 4, you would be correct. 9 times 4 is 36, so 36 divided by 4 will be equal to 9. 36 divided by what number is equal to 6? I see it right on the screen twice, both in blue. The answer is 6. Kiss your brain if you got that right. Let's keep moving. 36 divided by what number is equal to 18? Wow, those numbers are pretty big. If you said 2, you are correct. Let's keep moving. 36 divided by what number is equal to 0? We've been getting really good at these zeros, and that is in fact the answer, 0. 36 divided by what number is equal to 2? This one's a little bit tricky. But if you said 18, you would be correct. 36 divided by what number is equal to 4? I'm thinking in my head, 4 times what is 36? And the answer is 9. 36 divided by what number will give me, or is equal to, 36? I hope you said 1. 36 divided by what number will give me 12? I'm hoping you said 3, and you would be correct. Now what? Keep practicing? Kiss your brain. There we go. I'm going to go on reflex math so I can get even stronger math muscles. Okay, and now on to the next part of our day for our warm-up. See you soon. Wow, what a great job you did with the fluency. Now we're ready for our warm-up. So here are the 4 questions for our warm-up. We have 12 divided by 2, or 12 halves. You should remember by some of the other work that we've been doing with fractions how to find the answer to that. We have 2 and 5 and 8 divided by 3. We have 6 and 1/4 divided by 2 and 1/3. And we have 3 and 1/3 divided by 1/2. Today, I'd like you to try to work on these on your own. And when you're ready, unpause the video and I will work through the problems with you. Are you ready? I know you are. Let's get to it.
Okay, math superstars. So here are our warm-up questions for today. Hopefully you've started to work on them on your own and you're just using me as a guide to check that your answers are correct. So our first question is 12 over 2, or 12 divided by 2, or 12 halves. And in this case, I don't really see a division sign that I'm really so aware of, but it's actually this line that divides the top number from the bottom number. And really what I'm going to do is divide 12 by 2. So I could also write that like this, and I know the answer is 6. Or I could divide 2 into 12, like this. 2 goes into 1 0 times. 2 goes into 12 6 times. 6 times 2 is 12. Either way, I get my answer, my final answer of 6. Okay, this one, the next one up is a little bit harder. We have 2 5/8 divided by 3. So the first things first, I have to make my mixed number into an improper fraction so that I can go ahead and divide. And I also need to change my 3 into 3 over 1 so that I have a fraction that I can divide. So let's start here. 8 times 2 is 16 plus 5 more, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So 21/8 is my equivalent fraction. And then I'm going to have my 3 and put over 1. But when I'm dividing fractions, I do something called keep, change, flip. I'm going to write that up here for you. Keep, change, flip. Okay? And I call it KCF. So I keep this the same. I change this into the opposite. So the opposite of division is multiplication. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to flip this or take the reciprocal. So instead of it being 3 over 1, it's going to be 1/3. And then I'm going to go ahead and multiply my fractions. Okay, so 21 divided by 1 is 21. 8 times 3 is 24. Making my answer 21/24. Moving right along. Now I have 2 mixed numbers. Again, I'm going to put up here, keep, change, flip, to remind myself what I need to do. But first I need to make improper fractions. So I have 4 times 6 is 24, plus 1 is 25. 25/4. I'm going to change this into multiplication. First I'm going to find the reciprocal, first I'm going to find my improper fraction, and then I'm going to find my reciprocal. So 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And keep the same denominator. So 7/3 is my equivalent fraction for this. But since I'm flipping it or taking the reciprocal, I'm going to have 3/7 here. Okay, so 25 times 3, I'm thinking about 3/4 and know that that's 75. And 4 times 7 is going to give me 28. Okay, so this is in an improper fraction, so I can go ahead and change that back into a mixed number. And you also want to be thinking, if I have, 6 1/4 and I'm dividing it into 2 1/3, what is that going to exactly be? Okay, so let's look at our answer and see if we can rationalize. So let me do the dividing over here. 28 into 75. Well, 28 is more than 25, so I know it can't be 3. So I'm going to go with 2. I'm also going to put a 0 here to hold this place because I know 28 can't go into 7 at all. So 28 times 2 is going to give me 56. So I'm going to subtract 56. 15 take away 6 would be 9. 6 take away 5 is 1. So it's going to be 2 and 19/28. So that's going to be my final answer. 2 and 19/28. I know that I can't make it any smaller because 19 is a prime number. So this is going to be my final answer. So I want to just think about this. If I have 6 and I divide it by 2, I'm going to get something that's like near 3. Since I have these fractional amounts, I can kind of tweak that a little bit. But 6 divided by 2 is equal to 2 and 19/28. That's almost 3, so that's pretty close. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Okay, and for our last question, we have 3 1/3 divided by 1/2. Again, I'm going to just write, keep, change, flip, so I remind myself. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this mixed number and make it into an improper fraction. So 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10. So 10/3, that's going to be kept the same. Then I'm going to change my division into multiplication, and I'm going to flip this over or take the reciprocal. So it's going to be 2 over 1. Okay, 10 times 2 is giving me 20. 3 times 1 is going to give me 3. So 20/3 is an answer. A better answer would be, let me do a little side math over here. So I know 3 times 7 is 21, so this is going to be 6. 3 times 6 is 18. I'm going to subtract 18. and I'm going to get 2. So 6 2/3. Okay, so 6 2/3 is going to be my answer. Now, let's take a look at this. If I took a candy bar, or 3 1/3 of candy bars, and I broke it up into half the pieces, I would get 6 2/3 of those. So that's it. Stay with me and we'll go to the problem that we're going to work through today together.
You did an awesome job with those warm-up questions. Now let's get to today's work that we're going to do together. Right now in the school, custodians are very busy getting the school ready for the fall. So here's a question for them. The custodians are painting the classrooms this summer. Each room needs 2/3 of a gallon of paint. If there are 12 gallons of paint, how many rooms will they be able to paint? Let's think about this. How can we approach this problem? We're already dividing up each gallon of paint, so we have to figure out how many rooms will we be able to paint. And we're using less than a gallon per room, so I already know that my answer will be over 12. So join me. I will be on my side paper in just one moment, and I will take you through this problem. Again, we're going to explain our thinking. We're going to include a statement of the solution. All right, let's get started.
Okay, thank you for joining us. Today we're going to be working on this question together, and I'm going to reread it to you. It says, the custodians are painting the classrooms this summer. Each room needs 2/3 of a gallon of paint. If they have 12 gallons of paint, how many rooms will they be able to paint? Explain your thinking and include a statement of the solution. Okay, let me start thinking about this. So I have 12 gallons of paint that I need to divide up into 2/3 units. So it really looks like 12 divided by 2/3. Okay, that would be my number sentence. I want to show you pictorially what this would look like. So in a blink of an eye, these are our 12 gallons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so I know already that I can paint each room and have a little bit left over with each of those gallons. And then I'm going to put that leftovers together to make enough paint for additional rooms. So this is what I would like to really look at. I've divided this up, this fraction or number line, or this fractional bar, whatever you want to call it. I call it a tape diagram. But each of these is worth 1 gallon. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And instead now, since I'm dividing each room up into 2/3, I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to shade in. This is 2/3, 2/3, 2/3, 2/3, 2/3, 2/3, and 2/3. Okay? So already I'm going to go ahead and do these two. 2/3, 2/3, 2/3, 2/3, and 2/3. Already I have those 12 rooms. They're all painted. Now, I need to go ahead and figure out how many more rooms can I paint with the leftover paint. So this here would represent the leftover paint. So all I'm going to do in this case is I'm going to circle, okay? This is worth 1/3, right? And this is worth 1/3, and this is worth 1/3, and this is worth 1/3 of that gallon, or the second gallon, or the third gallon of paint. So each of these little blocks here are worth 1/3 because I've divided up this gallon into 1/3, 2/3, 3/3. So that's one whole thing. So basically, if I want to find out how many additional rooms, I will just group two of these together because 1/3 plus 1/3 is 2/3. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have the 12 rooms from before plus 6 additional rooms gives me 18 rooms I can paint. So I've shown you in a picture, okay? So in this picture, each of these 2/3 that's slashed sideways is a room, and then each circle that I made is an additional room. So 12 with the top 2/3, and then 6 additional with the bottom thirds, okay? And originally, I had told you that we had 12 divided by 2/3. So the keep, change, flip kind of gets people confused sometimes, so I wanted to show you in a picture what that really looks like. But I will also do keep, change, flip with this. So I'm going to keep 12 over 1. I'm going to change the division into multiplication, and I'm going to flip the 3 and the 2 to take the reciprocal. So the 3 will be on top and the 2 will be on the bottom. And here we have 12 times 3, which is 36, 2 times 1, which is 2, 36 divided by 2 is 18. So my statement of the solution would be 18 rooms can be painted over the summer by the custodians with 12 gallons of paint. Okay, that's my statement of the solution, because it asked me how many rooms can I paint? Well, 18 rooms I can paint with the 12 gallons that I have if each room has 2/3 of a gallon of paint. Okay, so I showed you 12 divided by 2/3. I used keep, change, flip, which is to keep the first number, change to multiplication, and to take the reciprocal. And I would get 36 halves, and that makes 18. And then I was able to earlier show you pictorially where I divided up the 12 gallons. Essentially what I did for this picture down below is just break each of these gallons up into thirds. So I can go ahead and show you that with this pink lines. And so this is just a bigger picture of it. So each gallon is broken up into thirds. The first 2/3 is for one of the rooms, which is equal to 12 up here. And then these 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3 would give us an additional 6 rooms. Would give me 18 total rooms. All right, I hope you're happy with that, and stay tuned for your question to do on your own.
Here is your independent question for today. Oh my goodness, there's some 5th grade teachers. Miss Levy, Ms. Duino, and Mr. Evans all get a beverage from Starbucks. This is true. The 3 of them equally share a half a cup of milk between them. How much does each person receive? At this point, you're going to pause the video when I'm done speaking, work on this problem, and then when you're ready, you will unpause and we will reveal the answer. We're going to explain our thinking and include a statement of the solution as I go through and do these problems. So stick with me and we'll be right there.
Okay, here we have my question for Miss Levy, Miss Duino, and Mr. Evans, all getting beverages from Starbucks. Okay, the 3 of them equally share 1/2 cup of milk between them. How much does each person receive? So in this case, we have 1/2 cup of milk. This whole thing is going to be worth 1/2, and we're going to be dividing that up between 3 people, Miss Levy, Miss Duino, and Mr. Evans, right? So if I was going to write this out in a number sentence, I would have 1/2 divided by 3 equal to, and whatever number I'm finding, okay? So if I have 1/2, and I'm going to divide that up into thirds, what is that going to look like? How much shares do they each get? Well, let's look at the number sentence. If we use our same procedure as we have in our last one, keep, change, flip, we will keep the 1/2, we will change the division to multiplication, and we will flip 3 over 1 to be 1/3. So if we have 1/2 times 1/3, we will get 1/6. So let's see if this is true. If we put this in as 1/6, 1/6, and 1/6, when we add them all together, will we get 1/2? Okay. So 1/6 plus 1/6 plus 1/6 is equal to 3/6, and 3/6 is in fact equal to 1/2. their equivalent fractions. So my answer in this case is each, move my paper up so you can see it. Each teacher will get 1/6 cup of milk for their coffee when they split 1/2 cup of milk. All right, there you have it. You guys did a great job. Keep up the great work, and we'll see you again here tomorrow.
What a great job working on your own today. Please kiss your brain. You have done awesome. Keep up the great work, and we will see you here tomorrow. So far today, you've learned how to divide fractions and whole numbers, and you have done a really super job. I cannot wait to see you for our 14th lesson, which will happen very soon. Kiss your brain, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye. All right, Peak Flicks math scholars, you have done an incredible job today. But you're not done yet. I'm going to need you to go on to Zern, Reflex Math, or most importantly, fill out an exit ticket for today's work. Please show us how smart you are and what you have learned from doing the lessons here on Peak Flicks. Thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day. It was wonderful teaching and learning alongside of you. Take care.